For this month, I've been requested by Ryan on Patreon to review the 4th installment in the Open Season series, titled Open Season Scared Silly. I've mentioned before that I'm not the biggest fan of Open Season, and I also reviewed the 3rd film a few years ago and liked it even less. Did this 4th movie do much to change my mind on the franchise? Not really. My biggest problem with Open Season is how generic and flat the main protagonists, Boog and Elliot, are. They're just Shrek and Donkey with different clothing, and about the charm, humor, and personality that made those characters so endearing. When I opened up Scared Silly on Netflix, I hoped that this would finally be the one where I warmed up to them. Let's just say my patience started to run thin about 10 minutes in. The main fault is with Elliot, who never shuts up. Every time he's on screen, he's yammering non-stop, and also being kind of a jerk towards Boog. The film as a whole never seems to slow down, as it just rushes from one comedic set piece to the next, as the characters attempt to locate this werewolf. They also bring back the hunter from the first movie, who is absent from the previous 2 films, and don't do much that's particularly interesting with him. He's also paired up with 2 Canadian stereotypes, so cue the poutine jokes. A lot of the jokes fell flat for me, although the worst comes from an extended scene where Elliot eats squirrel poop. It goes on for quite a while, and then not 1 second later, the hunter walks in and he eats the same poop. Feces-eating jokes are already disgusting enough, so can you at least break those scenes up if you're going to have more than one in the same movie? I will admit, a few visual gags did make me chuckle, like the signage in front of a mine. The backgrounds are also nicely designed and rendered, and there's an odd scene where the Dachshund sings an opera number. That was a thing that happened. But overall, I had a hard time getting invested in the movie. However, I have to remember this is a children's movie, and I guess for the target audience, it's harmless. It's basically an 85-minute sugar rush with no real substance or message of any kind. A lot of Open Season's Scared Silly was just noise. And I feel really bad being so negative towards this movie too, because a number of talented artists were involved in its creation. The director, David Feiss, is most well known for creating the Cartoon Network series Cow and Chicken and I Am Weasel, and you can see a bit of his signature style in the character animation at times. Over the past decade, he's primarily served as a storyboard artist on a number of Sony and Illumination productions, including this year's Hotel Transylvania 3 and The Grinch. He even directed a few Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs shorts, and is also the director of Paramount's upcoming animated film, Wonder Park. And if you go on Sony Animation's YouTube channel, there's a great video in which Feiss discusses his career that I highly recommend giving a watch. I think it's easy to forget that even in these lower budget direct-to-video animated sequels, a lot of great people and artists have a hand in bringing them to life and put a lot of passion into them. For me, the Open Season series just has not been my cup of tea. But clearly these films resonate with people since they keep making more of them. For those of you wondering why we have 4 of these films, the answer is simple. Russia. That's not a joke. The Open Season movies are really popular in Russia, to the point they even get theatrical releases over there. Either way, it does make me smile whenever I see David Feiss credited on an animated film. He's incredibly talented, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with Wonder Park.